In today's video, we're going to do a quick build review over the CBX 180, which is a quad specifically designed to run 1407 motors with 4-inch props. In this build review, you're going to notice that I use these RCX 1707 motors. However, I do not recommend these, even though they're a lot cheaper than this one here. This Rotor Geek 1407 3200 kV motor is far superior to this. And pretty much you guys stick with either Brother Hobby or Rotor Geek for these size of motors because their build quality just far surpasses anything else out there. And with a 3200 kV rating, we should be able to spin these TJ 4045 props just fine. So before we start taking this frame apart and getting our components ready, let's get a baseline of what our frame weighs pre-build. And we're looking at just over 43 grams, which is actually, that's a pretty light frame. And we'll be going over which components we're about to put on. This is the Pico BLX. And unfortunately this is a clone because I could pretty much buy 2 of these for the price of the actual BLX. And to go with it for the V transmitter, I have the one that is made to stack right on top of that. But if you wanted to run your own video transmitter, I actually have a plate that will be included in the kit. That'll go right on top of this, and that way you can zip tie your video transmitter of whatever you'd want on there. And our camera is going to be the Runcam Swift Mini, which this frame was specifically designed for. Our motors are going to be RCX 1707 3900 kV. Now this kV is a little on the high side. I was planning to actually run these on a 3-inch build, but for this purpose they should work alright. For ESCs, I have SpeedX ES20s. Now these are D-Shot compatible, and they're actually not bad priced. They're about 11 bucks. I run DSMX, so I have a Lemon Diversity satellite receiver. Alright, so I've got my motors soldered to my ESCs, and I tried to get that as short as I could there. Luckily I've got plenty of room on this these arms here. And so yeah, I soldered the motor to the ESC first, I put some sticky pads under, then I mounted the motors, and then I pulled the sticky pad off, pushed it down, and that's what allows you to get all of your ESCs in the perfect spot. And I've gone ahead and got my flight controller board ready to put in. Got it pre-tinned on the pads here, and my 2 wires for my buzzer, and these wires are pre-soldered so that I can put this board in and then put the video transmitter on top of that. So let's get this put into this frame. Alright, so we got all our wires soldered up here, and if you notice I have the signal wire going to this PPM port here. I've also soldered this little tiny pad right there to PPM because I plan on running D-Shot. Hopefully this knockoff board is capable of that. And I have these wires in here in place for my video transmitter. So now the next step for me will be to get this soldered on. Alright, so I've finished up the assembly of the bottom part of the quad here. Got my video cable installed, and it's a pretty clean looking build so far. And then for the top plate, I've got my camera installed already, and I've put my satellite receiver in here, and then I've used the zip ties connected here to run my antennas up. So now all that's left is to put the back plate on here, top plate on, and we should have a fully assembled quad. Here's our fully assembled CBX 180. I do have the Rotor Geek motors mounted on here, which did save me a considerable amount of weight over those RCX motors. And we do have a 3mm bottom plate here. All the other ones are 2mm. There's 25mm of distance here. And of course for the 180 name, it is 180mm from here to here and a true X. You also notice that there is really good camera protection. Now I actually did put on a bigger lens that came with the camera, so this did also add, I think, about an extra gram. And I do have the XT60 on, which if you were to use an XT30, you'd also save some weight there. So let's get the scale out and see what we're running at right now. Alright, so our build weight is coming in at just about 172 grams, and that's actually pretty light, so I'm really happy with that. And another thing about these 3200 kV motors is that I noticed a huge drop in my amp draw with these motors. My 850 4 cell was getting drained super fast. And with these, I'm now getting 3 minutes of fairly decent racing flying style. Now, if I was going to do freestyle, I probably would go up to a 1000 just because weight is really not as crucial. And you can get about maybe an extra minute or so of flight time. But here's my 4S I was talking about. I'm going to get this put on here so you have an idea of what the total flying weight is. Total build weight with the battery attached and strap, we are looking at 274 grams, so pretty light. Unfortunately, it's not under the 250, but that's pretty hard to do for a 4-inch build, unfortunately. But you could get closer by, like I said, changing the ESCs, connector, lens, and this battery does weigh, I think, 101 grams. So, but yeah, if you are interested in this frame, check out the link below where you can purchase it from Manton Productions. Takes about 1 week to get the frame made and about 2 weeks to get it shipped to you, so please keep that in mind if you do order it. If you have any questions about this build or parts that you'd like to use, please post them in the comments below. I am Corey with Crash Burn Racing, and thank you for watching.